good evening, and thank you so much for coming in today. I know you've been having some trouble sleeping, so I'm glad you finally scheduled an appointment with a sleep doctor like myself. So before we get started, I just need some of your information just to update the computer system as it is your first visit here. Could you please provide your first and last name? This is that. And last name. Okay. Thank you. And your current address? I see. Is that? Okay. Okay. And we do take your insurance here, I believe. Just to confirm, could you please give me your current insurance provider? Okay. Alright, yes, excellent. And just, if you could briefly just give an overview of some of the issues you're experiencing. Okay, I see. So trouble sleeping, of course, that's why you're here. Okay, great. I think that should be enough for us to get started. So typical procedure, I'm just going to ask you a few introductory questions, and if you could just answer them as honestly as possible, that'd be great. So for starters, what is a typical night's sleep for you? About how many hours of sleep are you getting per night? And again, I hope you don't mind, I'm just entering all this in the computer system so it's easier to reference later. Plus, my handwriting is just horrible, so. Okay, and would you say that you go to bed at about the same time every day? Or do you have a varied sleep schedule? Okay, that's pretty common. I get that one a lot. Okay, and my next question, are you staying up significantly later on the weekends, or for whatever reason, are you having dramatic changes in your sleep schedule during the week? Okay. Right. Hey, I get it. Friday nights are rough for me too. Okay. Are you eating at all before bed? Like a large meal or a light snack? Or anything in between? Okay. Yeah, the late night Little Debbie snack's probably going to be an issue, but we can discuss that more later. Okay. And along the same lines, are you having any alcohol, caffeine, any stimulant depressant usage before bed? Okay. Well, that's good at least, as long as you're not drinking 6 cups of coffee right before you go to bed. I've heard that one before. And this is going to sound silly, but are you sleeping in a comfortable environment? You've got a good mattress, clean sheets. It's dark, it's not loud, maybe have some white noise or anything. Okay, that makes sense. I got you. Mattress is a bit hard. Yeah, that's a big one. The mattress comfort. You'd be surprised how much of a difference that can make. Okay. And just one final question. Try not to bombard you too much. Are you using your bed for multitasking? And by that I mean, are you working from bed? Are you using bed for your TV watching or video games? Okay, You do schoolwork in bed. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, the best thing to do with your bed is to use it only for sleeping. It's something with your brain. If it associates your bed with schoolwork, for instance, it might actually stress you without you realizing it. Okay. So let me just double check I've got everything I need and make a few more notes. Just adding a few things here. All right, perfect. Okay, so moving right along, I'm just going to go through a few very simple, I guess, preliminary treatments, you could say. So the first one is just a really easy breathing exercise. We're just going to do some guided deep breaths together, just to kind of get you in a relaxed state of mind. So first we'll inhale. Hold it for a second. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Do one more. Inhale. Get a nice deep, slow breath. And exhale. And one more just for good measure. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, and as you're already laying down for me, I've got this instrument here. I'm going to just listen to your breathing and measure your pulse just for a few minutes as you lay down. So if you don't mind just laying down and continuing that deep breathing exercise, and I'll get some measurements in a second. Okay, so I'm noticing that your breathing and your pulse seem to be slightly elevated for what they should be. You seem a little stressed when you're trying to sleep. I should have asked this earlier. Are you thinking about stressful things or reflecting about your day or all the things you need to do? Okay, I see. Let me go back and add a note quickly that, yeah, that's an important one I should have mentioned. Yeah. Okay. So if your issue is that you feel like you're thinking about everything that you need to do the next day and you're stressed, I've got a few. It might sound silly, but I'd give them a try first, and these may actually do a lot of good for you. So the first little attempt is to think about, it's early, you're getting plenty of sleep, so really reflect on for the next 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours. You've got nothing you need to do except lay in bed, relax, and just really take it easy. Just get a good night's sleep and wake up the next day refreshed. There's nothing to stress about while you're sleeping. There's nothing you need to be doing at this very moment in time. You can just lay down and really relax. So, like I said, I know that sounds a little silly, and unfortunately this one, it works for some people. But the second treatment idea is actually to think of a mental game that's challenging but nothing stressful. So please don't think about playing, Doom or anything like that. So for instance, like Bullseye, try visualizing yourself carefully aiming and throwing 30 bullseyes in a row. Just really picture the details of lining up that dart, aiming it, and taking your best shot at it. And if you want, go ahead and do a few attempts now. See if you can throw a bullseye or 5 in a row, and I'll give you some time to attempt that. Okay, so hopefully you've hit all 5 bullseyes or bowled 5 strikes or whatever relaxing activity you could think of. Another one is, instead of worrying and having anxiety about everything, try to imagine yourself in the most relaxing setting you can be. And this is a part where white noise may come in handy. So if you like camping, put on some crickets and owls, white noise, and just imagine that you're relaxing in your tent out in the wilderness with a warm campfire crackling. Or if you're more of a beach goer, put on some ocean waves and imagine that you're laying down in the warm beach sun, relaxing as the waves roll into shore. So just take a second, and actually for my notes, could you just describe a relaxing scenario? And I can make a note of that just for the future. Okay. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I too, I love hot tubs. Hot tubs are very comfortable. Okay, so let me take one last look over everything and see what we're working with. On a few final notes, so just bear with me for 1 second. Thank you so much for your patience, by the way. I know this has been a little bit of a process, and just thank you for your patience and answering all my questions. A few extra notes here. I know I asked a lot, so I'm trying to make sure I've got everything down so you don't have to repeat it later or for future visits. Okay, so as I said, just for our first visit, go home, try some of those treatments I suggested and some of those exercises I provided. And let's meet back in, I can go ahead and schedule your next appointment. How is 2 weeks from tomorrow? I've got an opening at 2 p.m. Does that work for you? Okay, great. So I'll go ahead and schedule that. But go ahead and give those exercises a try, and we can follow up more next week. But you're good to go for today. And again, thank you so much for your patience, and thanks for stopping